Issues of school dropouts. School dropout problem affects the students, their families, and the government on various levels. Based on the researches, these are the identified factors which cause students to leave schools, such as students' absenteeism, delinquent behavior, poor performance in study, childbearing, disciplinary problems, academic demotivation, low socioeconomic status, lack of support, family education, family mobility, school policies and practices, uncaring teachers, etc. It is commonly acknowledged that financial constraints are the main reason cited by people for dropping out of students. But a lot of studies shows that student behavior is main responsible factor for students dropout problem. Retention can be increased if the school management team are supportive and innovative. They should develop programs that will attract students to remain in school. Child-friendly environment and parents' involvement should be one of the key strategies to enhance retention and diminish dropout. Chronic school absenteeism, academic failure, and early school departure are links in a long chain of interconnected problems. In the self-perpetuating system of poverty and deprivation, they are both causes and effects of a vicious circle of correlate phenomena. How do other countries address their school dropouts? In America, they have Dropout Prevention Act, which amends the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965. It includes a coordinated national strategy and a national dropout prevention initiative. It authorizes and directs the Secretary of Education to make allotments to states to award grants to public middle schools or secondary schools with school dropout rates in the highest one-third in the state. For start-up and implementation cost of school dropout prevention program authorized activities. The School Dropout Prevention Program awards discretionary grants to state educational agencies and educational agencies to support the implementation of effective, sustainable, and coordinated dropout prevention and reentry programs in the high school, with annual dropout rates that exceeds the state average annual dropout rate. In Canada, they have Pathways to Education. It provides mentoring, tutoring, scholarship, and employment opportunities to youth across the nation. As a result, Pathways programs have dramatically reduced Canada's high school dropout rate and in doing so have helped change hundreds of lives. Philippines Open High School Program, OHSP. The way on how the Philippines addresses school dropouts is through the Open High School Program, OHSP, that was part of the Dropout Reduction Program, or DORP, of the Department of Education and funded by the Asian Development Bank. It was first started in 1998 and is now offered by an increasing number of public schools across the country. It deals to a distance learning for high school students who are unable to attend regular classes due to physical, economic, and geographical limitations. Ways of distance learning available through the OHSP. Number 1. Modular. In this setup, teachers are using modules in teaching students on their agreed schedule. These modules are similar to textbooks, are then taken home by students for self-study. Number 2, internet-based. The internet-based approach is still under development. It is only implemented in selected pilot schools in Baguio, Cebu, and Davao. This approach will only be fully launched after 4 years when it has passed evaluation measures. Number 3, blended technology. The blended technology approach is then envisioned as a combination of the two other approaches. These three approaches still follow the same grading system, with OHSP students graduating alongside the students of the regular classes at the end of the school year. Students from the other areas can also continue his studies in another school nearer to where she or he resides. There are qualifications to inquire OHSP. It is open to all elementary school graduates, high school dropouts, and Philippine Educational Placement Test passers who are Filipino citizens. Interested applicants for the OHSP must also undergo 2 tests before being accepted to the program. Number 1, the Informal Reading Inventory, IRI, to measure reading levels. And number 2, the Independent Learning Readiness Test, ILRT, to assess if the applicant's capacity in self-directed learning.
Based on the interview, there are some casualties that OHSP had, like the students were inconsistent due to their schedule since the majority of the students were working. However, OHSP is one of the tools to combat and lessen the growth rate of unschooled in the country, so that this kind of program should have given more focus to the government and the institution. If we were to recommend for the betterment of this program, the time span of the interaction between learners and the teacher should be longer, for the teacher to assess the students well about their understanding. Moreover, the teacher should create a conducive and child-friendly classroom, as well as to have positive reinforcement to have meaningful learning and interaction with the students and the teachers. Furthermore, to have a greater chance of success of the OHSP, the collaboration of the members of society and the local government units is a must.